Have you ever checked the change in your pocket and wondered if one of those pennies might be worth more than just 1 cent? What if I told you that a simple 1965 Lincoln penny with no mint mark could be worth far more than face value? That's right. 1 cent could turn into hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars. Today, we're diving deep into the 1965 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that might be sitting quietly in your jar of change, hiding in plain sight, waiting to surprise you. To understand why this coin might be valuable, we first need to take a step back in time. The year was 1965. The United States Mint was under pressure. There was a national coin shortage caused by the rising demand for coins and the increasing cost of silver. In fact, this was the period when silver was being phased out of circulating coins like dimes, quarters, and half dollars. In response, the mint also decided to make some changes to pennies even though they didn't contain silver. One important change was the removal of mint marks from coins between 1965 and 1967. This was done to discourage collectors from pulling coins out of circulation during the shortage. While it may seem odd today, the fact that a 1965 Lincoln penny has no mint mark is not an error, it was intentional. However, that doesn't mean the coin isn't worth something. In fact, there are certain versions of the 1965 penny that are quite valuable for collectors. How can you tell if you've got a genuine 1965 no mint mark Lincoln penny? Let's go over the basics. Start by looking at the obverse, that's the front of the coin. You'll see the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln. Just below the year 1965, you'll notice that there is no small letter, no D for Denver, and no S for San Francisco. That is perfectly normal for this year. Flip the coin over to the reverse and you'll see the Lincoln Memorial design, which was used from 1959 to 2008. It should be crisp and centered with the words United States of America and E pluribus unum clearly visible. The 1965 Lincoln penny is made primarily of copper. Specifically, it consists of 95% copper and 5% zinc. It weighs about 3.11 grams. If you have a scale at home and you find a penny from 1965 that weighs significantly more or less, that could indicate a counterfeit or possibly an error coin. Keep in mind, number 1965 penny should have a mint mark. If you find one that does, it may have been altered after minting, which usually decreases its value. Now let's talk about errors. This is where things get exciting for collectors. Some 1965 Lincoln pennies have been found with striking errors. These include double dies, where the image appears to be doubled due to a mistake in the minting process. If you see doubling in the lettering, especially in words like Liberty or In God We Trust, that could be a double die error. Other rare errors include off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing because the coin was not centered properly during minting. There are also die cracks and clipped planchets, all of which can add significant value to a coin. Why is this coin sometimes worth more than a penny? While millions of 1965 pennies were produced, over 1.5 billion, in fact, certain conditions make some of them valuable. Coins that have been preserved in mint condition with no scratches, discoloration, or wear can fetch a much higher price than circulated coins. Collectors are especially interested in coins that have been certified by grading companies like PCGS or NGC. An uncirculated 1965 penny, one that looks nearly perfect, can be worth several dollars. But coins with rare errors or high-grade certification can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Let's look at some real-world examples. A 1965 Lincoln penny graded MS67 red by PCGS, which means it's in near-perfect mint condition, sold at auction for over $700. Another 1965 penny with a dramatic off-center strike sold for around $150. Even more modest examples in MS65 condition that's still considered mint state have sold for between $15 and $50, depending on the color and appearance of the copper. On the other hand, a well-worn 1965 penny that has been in circulation might still sell for a small premium, usually between 2 and 5 cents. It's not much, but it's more than 1 cent. Can you get lucky or even rich if you find one of these coins? Absolutely. While it's not guaranteed, the potential is there. All it takes is a careful eye and a little knowledge. Check your change. Go through that old jar of coins you've been meaning to sort. Look closely at the date and the condition. Use a magnifying glass if you need to. You never know, you might find a hidden treasure. And if you come across a 1965 Lincoln penny that looks unusual, maybe it's shiny, perfectly preserved, or has an odd design flaw, it might be worth sending it in for professional grading. That small step could make a big difference in the value. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the world of the 1965 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. As we've seen, even the most ordinary-looking coins can hold secrets and surprises. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare pennies, coin collecting, and valuable coins hiding in everyday change, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a new video, and before you go, take a minute today to check your pocket change. You just might be sitting on a coin that's worth far more than 1 cent. Thanks for watching and happy collecting. Hello and welcome back to the channel where we uncover the hidden treasures hiding in your pocket change. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you ever found a penny that looked ordinary but turned out to be worth thousands of dollars? Today, we're diving deep into one of the most talked about coins in modern U.S. history, the 1982 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. This small copper-colored coin might just be sitting in your coin jar or tucked away in an old drawer, and it could be worth a fortune. So grab your magnifying glass, settle in, and let's take a close look at what makes this little coin so special. The year was 1982. It was a time of change, not just in the economy, but also in the world of coins. Up until 1982, pennies were made mostly of copper, 95% to be exact. But copper prices were rising and the cost of making a penny was approaching or even exceeding its face value. That's right, it was costing the U.S. Mint more than 1 cent to produce a 1-cent coin. So in an effort to save money, the U.S. Mint made a big decision. They changed the composition of the penny. Starting in 1982, most new pennies were made with a core of zinc and coated in copper, a much cheaper alternative. But during this transition, several varieties of the 1982 penny were produced. Some were copper, some were zinc, some had mint marks and some did not. This mix created one of the most confusing and exciting periods for coin collectors. Now, let's talk about how to identify a genuine 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, especially one that could be valuable. First, look closely at the date on the coin. You're searching for a penny that says 1982 on the front, right under Abraham Lincoln's profile. And most importantly, there should be no mint mark, no small letter D or S under the date. Just a clean 1982. Next, check the weight of the coin. This is the most important detail. Copper pennies from 1982 weigh about 3.11 grams, while the zinc ones weigh only 2.5 grams. You will need a precise digital scale that measures to 2 decimal places to tell the difference. So if you find a 1982 penny with no mint mark that weighs 3.11 grams, congratulations, you might be holding a rare copper version. But here's where it gets even more interesting. One rare variety is the 1982 D small date copper penny, which was never supposed to exist. But a few examples have been discovered. That's why it's important to understand the difference between large date and small date coins, even for those without a mint mark. Let's break down what you should look for. Date: 1982 mint mark. Non-material: copper, 3.11 grams, or zinc, 2.5 grams. Design: Lincoln's profile on the front, Lincoln Memorial on the back. Condition: check for clean edges, legible lettering, and minimal scratches. You'll also want to check if the coin has a small date or a large date. This refers to the shape and spacing of the numbers. Small date coins are usually more valuable. Some 1982 Lincoln cents have errors that make them even more valuable. Here are a few to watch for. Double die errors, where the letters or numbers appear doubled off center. Strikes, where the coin design is not properly centered. Die cracks or cuds, raised lines or lumps caused by worn dies. These errors, combined with the right date and material, can turn an ordinary penny into a collector's dream. So why is the 1982 no-mint mark copper penny so valuable? It all comes down to timing and confusion during the transition year. Many 1982 pennies were produced, but very few copper coins without a mint mark, especially with small dates, were made. And because millions of Americans never noticed the change in composition, these coins quietly entered circulation. Now, decades later, coin collectors are scrambling to find them. Let's talk dollars and cents. How much is a 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln penny worth today? Worn condition, typically just face value unless it's copper circulated, but copper, 3.11 G, around 20 to 50 cents. Uncirculated copper version, $1 to $5 or more. Certified small date copper penny, up to $1,000 or higher error coins, depending on the error, anywhere from $50 to several $1,000s to give you some real-world examples. In 2017, a 1982 no-mint mark small-date copper penny-graded MS-67 by PCGS sold at auction $4.18, $800 another. Example, slightly lower in grade, sold for over $10,000. These coins were verified by professional grading services and their condition made a big difference in value. So, could a simple penny make you rich? The answer is yes, if it's the right penny. The 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, especially the small-date copper version, is one of the rarest and most valuable modern coins you can find in your pocket change. Take a moment to check your coin jar, your old piggy banks, and even that dusty coffee can in the garage. You never know what might be hiding in plain sight, and if you do find something interesting, take it to a local coin dealer or submit it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC for a professional evaluation. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another hidden gem in the world of rare coins. Leave a comment below if you found a 1982 penny and want help identifying it. And remember, sometimes a penny saved really is a penny earned. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video where we'll uncover even more valuable coins that could be sitting right under your nose. Have you ever wondered if that penny sitting in your kitchen drawer could be worth hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars? Today, we're going to talk about one of the most talked about coins among collectors and treasure hunters alike, the 1986 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. If you're someone who enjoys the thrill of finding hidden treasures, or if you've been curious about the value of old coins in your pocket change, this video is made just for you. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for. How to tell if you have a real 1986 no-mint mark Lincoln penny and how much it could be worth today. So grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's explore the fascinating story of this unique and valuable coin. To understand why the 1986 Lincoln penny is so interesting, we need to take a step back in time. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It replaced the Indian head penny and became the first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature a real person. Over the years, the design changed slightly, but the image of Lincoln remained. By 1986, the Lincoln penny had been in production for 77 years. That year, the United States Mint was still producing pennies at several different mint locations, mainly Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Typically, coins made in Denver have a small D mint mark. Those from San Francisco bear an S mint mark. And the Philadelphia Mint usually didn't add any mint mark on pennies at all. So here's where it gets interesting. A 1986 Lincoln penny with no mint mark might seem ordinary at first. After all, coins from Philadelphia commonly lack a mint mark. But certain 1986 no-mint mark pennies have raised eyebrows due to possible minting errors and unique characteristics that make them rare and valuable. Let's talk about how to identify this coin properly. First, pick up a magnifying glass and take a good look at your 1986 penny. Look just below the year, that's where a mint mark would usually appear. If you see a D or an S, it's from Denver or San Francisco. But if there's no letter at all, it likely came from Philadelphia. Now here's the important part. Not every 1986 penny without a mint mark is rare. However, some no-mint mark pennies from this year have been found with unusual qualities, including striking errors, doubled dies, or a high level of preservation that boosts their value significantly. One key detail is the condition of the coin. A coin in brilliant uncirculated condition with all the original luster and no scratches is much more desirable to collectors. If you spot doubling on the letters or numbers, especially in the words Liberty or In God We Trust, that could indicate a doubled die. A rare minting error that can increase value tremendously. Let's break down some basic specifications so you can compare your coin accurately. Year, 1986 design. Abraham Lincoln on the front, Lincoln Memorial on the back. Designer Victor D. Brenner. Weight, 2.5 grams. 4 zinc coins, though earlier copper coins weighed 3.11 grams. Composition, 97.5% zinc. 2.5% copper plating. Mint mark, no mint mark. Philadelphia. Diameter, 19 millimeters. If your coin weighs closer to 3.11 grams, that could indicate a rare off-metal strike, possibly on an older copper blank. which is even more valuable. So what makes the 1986 no-mint mark penny potentially valuable? The truth is, not every no-mint mark penny is worth a fortune. But collectors prize certain versions of this coin due to specific factors, minting errors such as doubled dies or off-center strikes, high-grade condition, especially coins that were never circulated, wrong planchet errors, where the coin was struck on the wrong type of metal, blank historical interest, especially for collectors completing sets from every year and mint. While millions of pennies were minted in 1986, only a tiny fraction were preserved in mint state condition or have valuable errors. And those are the ones that can fetch surprising prices at auction. Now let's talk numbers. What's a 1986 no-mint mark penny actually worth? A worn, circulated 1986 penny with no mint mark is usually worth only face value I.1 cent. A coin in good condition but still circulated might bring 10 to 25 cents. A mint state or uncirculated example can sell for $1 to $5. Depending on quality. A certified MS-65 or higher grade penny, especially with an error, can fetch $50, $100, or more. Some rare varieties, such as double dies, have sold for $500 or even higher at auction. For example, a 1986 no-mint mark Lincoln penny in near-perfect MS-67 condition once sold for over $1,000 at auction due to its flawless surface and rarity in that grade. So here's the bottom line. You may very well have a valuable coin hiding in plain sight. That simple 1986 penny in your change jar could be a treasure, especially if it's in excellent condition or has a rare error. Take a few moments to look through your old coins, especially your 1986 pennies. Weigh them, examine them under a light, and see if you might be holding onto a hidden gem, and who knows, you just might get lucky. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, valuable pennies, and how to spot hidden treasures in your pocket change, make sure to subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a new episode. Leave a comment and let us know if you've ever found a rare coin, or if you have a 1986 penny without a mint mark. We'd love to hear your story. And remember, always check your change because your next coin might just be worth a fortune. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Search friendly tags and terms. Rare 1986 penny value. No mint mark Lincoln cent, valuable 1 cent coins, rare penny errors, coin collecting for seniors. What is my coin worth? 1986 penny with errors, old coins worth money, valuable coins in circulation, Lincoln Memorial cent collecting. Have you ever wondered if that penny sitting in your pocket or tucked away in an old jar might be worth more than just 1 cent? What if I told you that a single penny, minted in 1988 with a tiny D under the date, could be the key to uncovering a small fortune? Stay with me, because today, we're diving deep into the story of the 1988 D Lincoln penny, a seemingly ordinary coin that has caught the eye of collectors and treasure hunters across the country. Let's begin with a little history. The 1988 D Lincoln penny is part of the long-running Lincoln cent series, which began back in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature the image of a real person. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the penny has gone through a few changes over the years, but it has always carried Lincoln's image on the front. By 1988, the United States Mint was still producing billions of pennies each year. The Denver Mint, indicated by the small D mint mark under the date, struck hundreds of millions of these coins. So, you might ask, what makes this particular penny special? Well, it's not just any 1988 penny. The value and rarity come from a special variation or error coin that slipped past inspectors and into circulation. And this is where things get very interesting. Now, let's talk about how to identify the 1988 D Lincoln penny that could be worth money. Most 1988 D pennies are only worth face value, but a small number were accidentally struck using a reverse die from 1989 instead of the correct 1988 design. This error is called a transitional reverse. It's subtle, but collectors have trained their eyes to spot it. Here's how you can tell if you have one. Look at the initials on the reverse, which is the back of the coin. Most 1988 D pennies have the initials FG for Frank Gasparo, located near the bottom right of the Lincoln Memorial. On the rare variety, known as the 1988 D reverse of 1989, those initials are farther from the base of the memorial and are slightly different in shape. Use a magnifying glass to compare the design carefully. Also, look at the overall sharpness and styling of the building steps and columns. The 1989 reverse die gives the coin a more refined appearance. If you spot those details, You might be holding one of the most sought-after pennies from the late 20th century. Let's go over some quick facts and specifications that help you further identify the coin. Name: 1988 D. Lincoln Memorial Center Verse. Front portrait of Abraham Lincoln reverse. Back Lincoln Memorial designer. Victor David Brenner. Front. Frank Gasparo. Back. Weight: 2.5 grams. Composition: 97.5% zinc, 2.5% copper. Plating: mint mark D under the date for Denver. Diameter: 19 millimeters. The error coin, with the reverse of 1989, is rare because it should not exist. That reverse was meant only for 1989 and later pennies. The mistake happened during the die setup, and just a few of these coins were released before the error was caught. So why is this coin so valuable? It comes down to scarcity and collector demand. When rare varieties like this are discovered, especially from a well-known coin series like the Lincoln Cent, they can drive up prices significantly. This particular error was only discovered many years after the coins were released, making it even more of a treasure hunt today. Because the error is so difficult to spot with the naked eye, many people overlook it. That means more of them could still be hiding in coin jars, piggy banks, and old change drawers around the country. Now let's talk numbers. How much is the 1988 D. Lincoln penny with the reverse of 1989 really worth? Here's a breakdown of the current market values. Worn condition, but still identifiable, between $10 and $50. Circulated, but in better shape, around $100 to $300. Uncirculated examples. These can fetch $500 to over $1,000, certified by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. Prices range from $1,500 to as high as $3,000, depending on the grade. And here's a real-world example. In 2021, a certified 1988 D penny with the reverse of 1989, graded MS65 red by PCGS, sold at auction for $3,000. That's not bad for a coin you might find in your spare change. So, could you get rich by finding one of these pennies? Maybe not millionaire rich, but definitely lucky enough to pocket a few hundred, or even a few $1,000s, just from a coin that most people would ignore. This is why coin collecting is not only a rewarding hobby, but also an exciting way to discover hidden treasures. The 1988 D. Lincoln penny with the reverse of 1989 is a perfect example of how something small can turn out to be something very big. So here's what you can do right now. Go check your change. Look through your old penny jars. Ask your friends and family if they've got any 1988 D pennies lying around. You never know what you might find. And if you enjoy videos about rare coins, valuable pennies, coin errors, and coin collecting tips, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so you never miss a treasure hunting opportunity. Thanks for watching, and remember, that next penny you find might be worth much more than 1 cent. Stay curious and happy collecting. Have you ever held a small coin in your hand and wondered, could this be worth more than just 1 cent? Well, what if I told you that a simple 1993 Lincoln penny with no mint mark could be a hidden treasure right in your change jar? That's right, today we're diving deep into the story of the 1993 no mint mark Lincoln penny. By the end of this video, you might just be checking your coin collection with a brand new perspective. So sit back, relax, and join me as we uncover the secrets behind this humble yet potentially valuable coin. Let's start with a little bit of background. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation since 1909, created to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's likeness, a bold move at the time. Fast forward to 1993. By now, the penny had gone through several design and material changes. But in that year, something seemingly ordinary happened. The U.S. Mint struck millions of pennies with no mint mark. And that's where our story begins. Now you might be wondering, what exactly is a mint mark? A mint mark is a small letter on a coin that tells you where it was made. For example, a D stands for the Denver Mint and an S stands for San Francisco. But if there's no letter under the date, as is the case with the 1993 no mint mark penny, that means it was minted in Philadelphia. Here's the catch: most 1993 pennies did come from Philadelphia and did not have a mint mark. So, in most cases, this coin is very common. But, and this is important, some of these coins contain minting errors. And that's where things get interesting for collectors. Let's talk about how to identify a valuable 1993 no mint mark Lincoln penny. First, start with the basics. A genuine 1993 penny should weigh about 2.5 grams, be made of copper-plated zinc, have a smooth edge, and feature Abraham Lincoln on the front with the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Now, here's what makes some of these coins valuable. Minting errors. Look out for things like double die obverse, where Lincoln's features or the words appear slightly doubled off center, strikes where the design is not perfectly centered, bubbles or blisters under the surface, caused by improper bonding of the copper and zinc. These kinds of errors can make a penny worth far more than its face value, especially if it's in excellent condition. So how much are we talking? A worn, circulated 1993 no mint mark penny is usually just worth a cent or two. But if the coin is uncirculated, meaning it has never been used in everyday transactions, it can fetch anywhere from 50 cents to a few dollars. Certified examples, graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, and especially those with errors, can sell for even more. Let's take a look at some real examples. A 1993 penny with a strong double die error and uncirculated condition sold for over $200 at auction. Another example with a dramatic off-center strike brought in $150. Even regular 1993 pennies in near-perfect mint state condition have sold for $10 to $20. Not bad for a coin that most people overlook. The key here is condition and rarity. The cleaner and more unusual the coin, the higher the value. Now you might be thinking, how can I tell if my 1993 penny is worth anything? Start by checking your spare change, your coin jars, even old piggy banks. Look closely under a good light or with a magnifying glass. Pay special attention to the date, the mint mark or lack of one, and any unusual features. If you find something that looks different, don't rush to spend it. Take a photo, do a little research, or better yet, get it checked out by a professional coin grader. Remember, coins like this can easily go unnoticed for years. But if you happen to find one in pristine condition or with a rare error, you might just be holding a miniature fortune in the palm of your hand. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises. And the 1993 no mint mark Lincoln penny is a perfect example. It may seem like just another copper coin, but in the right condition and with the right error, it can be a small treasure hiding in plain sight. So take a moment to check your change. You never know what you might find. And if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare pennies, valuable coins, and coin collecting tips, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We post new videos every week to help you uncover the hidden history and value in your pocket. Thanks for watching and happy hunting. Have you ever checked the pennies in your change and thought, this is just 1 cent? Well, what if I told you that a simple penny from 1995, one with no mint mark, could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars today? That's right. This ordinary-looking Lincoln penny might be hiding a big secret. And if you've got one in your drawer or coin jar, it might just change your luck. So before you toss those old pennies aside, stay with me. In this video, we're diving deep into the 1995 no mint mark Lincoln penny, why it was made, what makes it valuable, and how you can tell if you have one of the rare and sought-after versions. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and you might just find a hidden treasure in your pocket. Let's start with a little history. The Lincoln penny, or Lincoln cent, has been around since 1909. It was first minted to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, our 16th president. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person instead of Lady Liberty. Now, fast forward to 1995. That year, the United States Mint produced billions of Lincoln pennies. Most of them came from the Philadelphia and Denver mints. The coins from Philadelphia usually don't carry a mint mark, which is normal. But something unusual happened in 1995. A small number of pennies from Philadelphia had an error during the minting process, and those errors turned some of these ordinary-looking pennies into highly collectible coins. Now, how can you identify a genuine 1995 no mint mark penny that might be worth something? First, flip the coin to the front. This is called the obverse. You should see the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln facing to the right. Just below the year 1995, on the right-hand side, there is no mint mark. That means it was minted in Philadelphia. But here's where things get interesting. Some of these coins were struck with what's known as a double die, a special kind of mint error where the design appears slightly doubled. The most noticeable doubling happens in the word Liberty and in the motto "In God We Trust" at the top of the coin. You might also see it in the date, 1995. This doubling is not from wear and tear. It happened during the minting process itself, which makes it rare and valuable to collectors. Let's take a closer look at the key details. Year: 1995 mint location. No mint mark, which means it was minted in Philadelphia design. Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. The Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Weight: 2.5 grams. Material: 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. Coating: diameter: 19 millimeters. Thickness: 1.52 millimeters. What makes this coin stand out is the doubling error, officially known as a double die obverse. Be careful not to confuse this with what's called machine doubling, which looks more like flat or shelf-like doubling. That kind isn't worth much. But a true double die has a more rounded and clear doubling, especially in the lettering. So why is this coin rare? The US Mint catches most errors before coins are released to the public, but a few double die coins managed to slip through the cracks in 1995. While there were several million of these error coins made, only a small number are still around today in good condition. Most have been lost, worn down, or damaged over time. Collectors prize coins like these because of their clear doubling and the fact that they're a recognized mint error. The value comes from both rarity and condition. Now let's talk money. How much is a 1995 no mint mark double die penny worth today? Worn or heavily circulated condition. These may sell for $10 to $25, depending on how clear the doubling still is. Lightly circulated condition. Expect around $30 to $50. Uncirculated examples. These are coins that were never used and still look brand new. They can fetch $100 to $250 or more. Certified by grading services like PCGS or NGC. If your coin is graded MS65 or higher, it could be worth $500 to $1,000, sometimes even more. Here are some real-world examples. In 2019, a 1995 double die penny in mint state 67 red condition sold at auction $4.150. Another example graded MS66 red sold $4.540. Even a lightly circulated coin with clear doubling has sold on eBay for around $50 to $75. These aren't just rare collector's pieces. They are real opportunities to turn spare change into real money. So what does this mean for you? It means that the next time you're counting your change or sorting through an old coin jar, take a close look at those pennies, especially the ones from 1995. Look for no mint mark and strong doubling in the words on the front of the coin. You might just be holding a small fortune in your hand without even knowing it. Coin collecting isn't just a hobby. It's a treasure hunt. And the 1995 no mint mark double die Lincoln penny proves that even the most ordinary coin can be worth far more than its face value. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare pennies, coin collecting, and valuable coins, be sure to subscribe to this channel. Tap the notification bell so you never miss a chance to discover hidden treasure in your own home. And don't forget, go check your change. That 1 cent might just be your lucky penny. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Hello and welcome, friends. Today, we're talking about a coin that might just be sitting in your pocket, in your coin jar, or tucked away in an old drawer. It's the 2006 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and believe it or not, this humble little 1 cent coin could be worth far more than its face value. If you enjoy stories of American history, rare coins, and hidden treasures, you're in for a treat. So grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's take a journey into the world of rare pennies, coin collecting, and valuable coins that are still being discovered today. First, let's start with a little history. The Lincoln penny has been a part of American life since 1909. It was created to honor our 16th president, Abraham Lincoln, and was the first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature a real person. Over the years, the design has changed slightly, but Lincoln's image remains on the front. Now, fast forward to 2006. This was a year like any other for the penny. The design hadn't changed dramatically. On the front, we still see Abraham Lincoln's profile, and on the back, the familiar Lincoln Memorial. But one small detail makes the 2006 D Lincoln penny special and potentially valuable. The D mint mark means this coin was struck at the Denver Mint. That's important because certain coins minted in Denver that year have shown up with errors, and errors can make a coin very collectible. We'll talk more about that shortly. So, how do you identify a genuine 2006 D Lincoln penny? First, check the front of the coin. You should see Abraham Lincoln facing right, as always. Look closely under the year 2006, you'll see a small letter D. That's the mint mark. It tells you the coin was made in Denver. Now turn the coin over. On the back, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial. If the details are sharp and the surface is clean, you may have a coin in very good condition, and that can make a big difference in its value. Let's talk about key details of this coin. Weight, 2.5 grams. Material, 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. Plating diameter, 19.05 millimeters. Mint mark, D4 Denver. Now here's where things get really interesting. Some 2006 Lincoln pennies have errors. These can include double die errors where parts of the image or lettering appear doubled off, center strikes where the image isn't lined up properly, die cracks or marks caused by damage to the die used to stamp the coin. These errors happen during the minting process and make the coin unusual. And in the world of coin collecting, unusual often means valuable. So what is the 2006 Lincoln penny worth today? If your coin is worn and heavily circulated, it might still be worth just 1 cent. But if it's in very fine or uncirculated condition, things start to change. Here's a breakdown of possible values. Circulated, worn 1 to 10 cents. Uncirculated, 50 cents to $2. Certified by a grading service like PCGS or NGC, up to $15 or more, depending on quality and any errors. Rare error coins, these have sold for hundreds of dollars at auctions. In fact, one 2006 penny with a major double die error sold at auction for over $400. That's right, someone turned a penny into hundreds of dollars just because of a minting mistake. Now, I know what you might be thinking. What are the chances of actually finding one of these coins? Well, that's the beauty of it. These coins are still out there. People spend them every day, not realizing what they have. You might already own one. Maybe it's in a jar on the dresser, in a coin collection from a loved one, or mixed in with your spare change. Finding a rare coin like this doesn't take luck, it takes knowledge. And now you know what to look for. So, could you get lucky and get rich from a single penny? It's possible. And the best part is, it doesn't cost a thing to check your change. Here's what I'd like you to do today. After this video, take a few minutes to look through your coins. Set aside any 2006 pennies. Look for that D mint mark. Use a magnifying glass if you have one. Check for sharp details, strange markings, or anything unusual, and if you find something interesting, talk to a local coin dealer or look up recent sales online. You might be holding a small piece of American history and a nice surprise for your wallet. Thank you for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to learn more about valuable coins, rare pennies, and how everyday people are finding hidden treasures, please subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to click the bell so you'll get notified when we share our next video. We've got more exciting coin stories coming soon. And remember, sometimes the smallest coin can hold the biggest value. Take care and happy hunting. Have you ever wondered if that old penny in your pocket change could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? Imagine finding a tiny treasure hiding in plain sight, tucked away in a coin jar, purse, or drawer. Today, we're talking about one special penny that's been turning heads in the coin collecting world, the 2008 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin. If you're over the age of 65 and love a good story, or you're just curious about valuable coins, this is a video you don't want to miss. This seemingly ordinary penny could be your lucky find. Let's start with a bit of history. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's face, and ever since, it's been a staple of American pocket change. Fast forward to 2008, the final year of the original Lincoln Memorial reverse design. This was a transition period as the U.S. Mint prepared to release new designs in 2009 for Lincoln's bicentennial. That makes 2008 a significant year for Lincoln cents. The 2008 Lincoln penny with no mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. It may look like a regular coin, but there are a few special characteristics that collectors look for, and some of them can increase its value dramatically. Now, how can you tell if you have one of these valuable coins? First, flip the coin over and look at the date. It should clearly read 2008 on the obverse or front side, along with Abraham Lincoln's profile. Next, look for the mint mark, or rather, the absence of one. Coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint traditionally have no mint mark. That means just below the date, there should be nothing there. If you see a D or an S, that means it came from Denver or San Francisco, not Philadelphia. Also, take a look at the reverse side of the coin. You should see the Lincoln Memorial design, which was used from 1959 to 2008. If you see anything else like the log cabin or the formative years design, you're probably looking at a 2009 penny. Here are some key specifications to help you identify this coin. Weight, about 2.5 grams. Material, 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating diameter, 19 millimeters edge, plain design, Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, Lincoln Memorial on the reverse mint mark, none. This tells you it was minted in Philadelphia. Keep in mind, the coin must be a genuine 2008 issue with no added features or altered parts. Be cautious of counterfeit coins or tampered examples. Now here's where things get really interesting. Most 2008 Lincoln cents are worth just 1 cent unless they contain a minting error or are in exceptional condition. Some 2008 pennies from Philadelphia have been found with striking errors such as off-center strikes, double dies, or die cracks. These mistakes happen during the minting process and can make a coin rare and highly collectible. Collectors love error coins because they're unusual and hard to find. Even the smallest error, like a double image on Lincoln's face or the letters, can increase the value significantly. Additionally, uncirculated examples, coins that were never used and have no wear, are much more valuable than those that have been sitting in circulation for years. So what's this penny actually worth? Let's look at a few general values based on condition, worn or circulated condition. Worth 1 cent to 10 cents uncirculated condition, worth between 50 cents and $5 mint error examples. Depending on the error, anywhere from $10 to over $100 certified by grading services like PCGS or NGC. Prices can range from $10 for MS65 to over $500 for rare error coins in high-grade condition. Here are some real examples of 2008 Lincoln cents that sold at auction. A 2008 no mint mark penny with a strong double die error sold $4.185. An off-center strike version in mint condition sold $4.72. A near-perfect MS67 grade 2008 Philadelphia cent sold for over $500. While these are not everyday finds, they're out there and they've been discovered by ordinary people just like you. So what does this all mean? If you come across a 2008 penny with no mint mark, take a closer look. Check for errors, see what condition it's in, and if it looks promising, have it evaluated by a coin expert or grading service. Even without a dramatic error, a high-quality uncirculated penny can be worth more than you might expect. And if you happen to find one with a rare minting flaw, you could be sitting on a small fortune. It only takes one coin to make your day or even change your luck. That's why it's always a good idea to check your change, especially when you're dealing with older coins from interesting years like 2008. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more stories about rare coins, valuable pennies, and coin collecting tips. And don't forget, go through your piggy bank, check those coin jars, and look at your pocket change. You never know what treasures you might find. Thanks for watching and happy hunting. Hello and welcome, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Today, we're talking about a small coin with a big story, the 2017 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1 cent penny. This humble little penny might just be sitting in your pocket or tucked away in an old jar, but believe it or not, it could be worth much more than just 1 cent. If you've ever wondered whether that copper-colored coin in your change might be special, you're in the right place. Because some 2017 Lincoln pennies are turning up in the hands of collectors with rare errors, unique features, and surprising value. So stick with me. You might just have a hidden treasure at home. Historical background. Let's start with a little history. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation since 1909, introduced to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure rather than a symbolic design. Over the decades, the Lincoln penny has gone through several design changes, from the original wheat ears on the reverse to the Lincoln Memorial and now to the Union Shield, which was introduced in 2010. The 2017 penny belongs to the Union Shield series and was produced at various mints, including the Denver Mint, which is what the D mint mark represents. This mint mark is located just below the year on the coin, and it tells us where the coin was made. Now, you might be thinking, it's just a recent coin, not an antique. So why would it be valuable? The answer lies in details, condition, and those rare minting mistakes that collectors love. How to identify a genuine 2017 D Lincoln penny. Here's how to identify an authentic 2017 D Lincoln penny. First, check the front or obverse of the coin. You should see a clear image of Abraham Lincoln facing to the right. Just below the year 2017, you'll find the small letter D, which stands for the Denver Mint. On the back or reverse, look for the Union Shield design. This shield has 13 vertical stripes and a horizontal banner across the top with the word 1 cent displayed boldly. The phrase e pluribus unum runs across the shield, which means out of many, one. Key details: weight, material, and composition. Here are some important technical details. The coin weighs 2.5 grams. It is made from a core of 99.2% zinc coated with 0.8% copper. This is the standard for pennies minted after 1982. The coin is round with a smooth edge. The diameter is 19.05 millimeters, while these details are consistent for most 2017 pennies. Where things get exciting is when errors come into play. Rare errors to look out for. Now here's where collectors perk up their ears. Certain 2017 Lincoln pennies have been found with minting errors. These can include double die errors. This happens when the coin is struck more than once by the die, causing the images or letters to appear doubled, especially in words like liberty or in God we trust. Off-center strikes. Coins that were not properly aligned when stamped can have partial images or blank areas, which are extremely collectible. Die cracks or cuts. These show up as raised lines or blobs on the coin surface and are also considered valuable flaws. Misaligned die strikes. This can make one side of the coin appear off-center or crooked. Not all errors are valuable, but the rarest and most dramatic ones can bring in serious money. Why this coin is valuable? The 2017 Lincoln penny isn't rare because of low production. In fact, over 4.7 billion were made at the Denver Mint. What makes it valuable are the error coins, high-quality, uncirculated examples, and certified versions in pristine condition. Collectors are always looking for modern coins in mint state condition, especially those with unique flaws. That combination of rarity and demand can push the value well above face value. Current market value. Let's talk numbers. A standard 2017 penny in circulated condition is worth face value 1 cent. In better condition, a lightly circulated coin might be worth 5 to 10 cents. Uncirculated coins, meaning they have never been used and show no wear, can fetch between 50 cents and a few dollars. Certified coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, especially those rated MS 67 or higher, can be worth $20 or more. Coins with documented errors can go much higher. For example, one 2017 Lincoln penny with a dramatic double die sold for over $100 at auction. Another error penny with an off-center strike sold for $85 on eBay. These may not seem like lottery wins, but imagine finding a handful of these in a forgotten coin jar. Real-life examples. Let's look at some real-world examples. A 2017 penny graded MS 68 by PCGS sold for $49 in an online auction. An error penny with a clear die crack near Lincoln's shoulder sold for $60, and a certified double die example brought in over $120 just last year. These are coins that most people might overlook, but to a collector, these are treasures. Conclusion: how this coin could make you rich. So, what does all this mean for you? It means that the next time you're counting change, cleaning out an old purse, or sorting through a piggy bank, take a second look at your pennies, especially the 2017 Lincoln cent. If you spot a clean, shiny coin or notice something unusual about the lettering or design, it could be worth checking further. You don't need to be an expert. Start with a magnifying glass and some good lighting. If something catches your eye, you can always take it to a local coin dealer or send it in for grading. Call TOACTION now. Before you go digging through your couch cushions, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. We bring you regular videos about rare coins, valuable currency, and the fascinating history behind everyday money. Give us a like if you learned something new, and leave a comment if you've ever found a rare penny in your change. Remember, treasure isn't always buried. Sometimes it's hiding in plain sight. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting.